Hi, this is Ingrid from Quiltessential Co, and we're doing our April block of the month. There's been a lot of changes in the last month, so we're going to be doing this in a different format. So here's the block, and we've also got our new Tilda fabric quilt Pickadoo. So if you want this kit or you want something like it in the mail or a curbside pickup, we can do that for you. This is our April block of the month. These are the instructions that you have. This goes to show you what your block is going to look like, and if you made it into a quilt, what your quilt will look like. You must have your Sidekick instructions with you. You'll need your Sidekick ruler, and we're going to be cutting up our pieces. First of all, we have A, B, and C, and you can stack those together if you wish, and you're just going to cut those into 4.5 inch wide. This is D. We're going to also cut D 4.5 inches wide, and then when you cut E, you're going to be cutting a 1 inch strip and another 1 inch strip from E. So you will have two of those. Now we're going to cut it. So I've got my A, B, and C stacked together, and it doesn't matter which way you choose to cut this. We are doing it with our red instructions from our Sidekick ruler. I prefer to cut mine on the side here and then flip, but you can cut it on this side and then rotate your fabric, up to you. You don't need to cut very much off. Don't get too generous on that. You're just going to cut down the side like this, all through all three pieces, and then you're going to flip your ruler, turn it over, cut your first 60-degree triangle. This is the 4.5, and then you're going to cut one more. So flip over your ruler, and you're going to cut one more triangle. Make sure you go through all of your 3 layers. Now we have 2 A, B, and C's all here. You're going to take your A and your B first. So this is at the bottom of your instructions right here, and you're going to take A and B. On this particular colorway, this one is my A and this one is my B. I will be putting my A and B together so that the point is together up here and the flat blunt edge is together here. A is on top, B is right sides together on the bottom, and I'm going to sew straight down here, and then I'm going to press to my A. So I'm going to be pressing to A. Now I want to add my C. So I'm going to take my C, put the blunt end of C on the top of my sewn pieces. So I have A in the middle, B to the left, and C is going to go to the right. I've got blunt end up here, pointy end down here, and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch out here, and I'm going to press it to C. And I have one already done here. So these are all pressed nicely together. We're going to make 2 of these so that when you then turn around later on and put it together, they're all pressed in the correct direction and they're all going to go together nicely. But first of all, we need to add our D's. And this is on number 2. You're going to put your D fabric together. Doesn't matter which way you do it. Press it so that it doesn't move when you cut. There's nothing worse than it moving when you cut. And the first thing you're going to do is follow your orange instructions from your Sidekick ruler, and you put this nice and straight on here, 4.5, and you're going to cut half square triangles here, or half triangles, and then you need to, this is where I always get confused, this end, you go to the other end of your ruler. So you cut one from this side and rotate, and one from this side. If you've been to my demos before, you know I always do the first one kind of weird. So there you go. Now you can learn from me. This way, this way. Now you have 2 opposites. Now these of course are a different color entirely, but it gives you the idea that one is going to go onto here and one is going to go onto here, and that will be the same with this set here. So one of your D's goes on the side of C and one of your D's goes on the side of B, and you will sew those together, and then that gives you the whole center part of your block. So if you look at the block here, here's the center of it, here's the center of it. To make it a square, because it's 9.5 inches here, but it's not 9.5 inches here, and to get our design element, we are going to add one of these pieces on either end. Once you've sewn this, and it's a nice smaller piece, and you add your skinny E on the end here, and you add your skinny E on the end here, and you put it together, you will have excess to cut off. So then you now make it into your 9.5 inch square, and you're ready to go. And if you look at this, you will see that rotating these blocks makes a really nice quilt if you want to do that. And as usual, I've included your recipe at the end. And the recipe this time is something you might have in your freezer or your pantry, because we're all stuck at home, except me fulfilling your orders. As you know, I mixed up various fabrics, but block construction is the same for your blocks. This is a new format for us to help you out. So if you liked it, leave us a like and let us know down in the comments. We will have more content coming out, not just blocks of the month. So hit subscribe and you will be notified of future content. And this is Ingrid from Quiltessential Co, and I hope you enjoyed this little mini video.